Hello, everyone. I'm not sure why, but my my face is frozen, so I'm leaving a frozen face there. Welcome back to the Motherhood. I am very late in giving feedback for this month's Motherhood, but I'm here, so it's always the case at the end of the year. So October theme was autumn. And this was a photograph I took a few years ago of my daughter holding up a beautiful autumn orange leaf, or browny orange leaf. So that is what inspired this month's theme. So I am on my own this month due to time restrictions. So interesting to go through your images. So Anna, Anna, I'm so pleased with this picture. It is, I think, your best picture to date. I think it's really clean. It's beautiful. It's a little bit like a painting. I don't know if you've done any editing on it. The colour tones, it just definitely captures the kind of the feeling of being there. I really like kind of the spray of the sea, the clouds. Like there's detail everywhere. Seriously, really good job. I hope you're very proud of it as well. I know you've been kind of in and out of this this process, but I definitely feel like this is the strongest image that you've submitted so far. So, amazing, well done. Cassandra, I love it. I love the fact that you always put a spin on things. It's really interesting to see images that aren't just children anymore, which is obviously what we all did at the very beginning. I love the way you visualize things. I think you always look for abstract, and I don't think you should fight that. I know at one point you were like, oh, I haven't got any of my children. But I really like like really embrace that. I love the way that you kind of like look outside the box. So yeah, I really like this. I like the drips. There's like little it looks like dewdrops kind of on it. It's really clear, which I think is very hard because it looks like you've got a very low depth of field because the background is completely blurry. So it doesn't look like an easy photograph to get. I'd be interested to find out what lens you used actually. I mean, I love it. What might have been interesting is to have, like a bit of story there, for example. A spider and a fly or something like that. I don't think I miss it, but again, just looking to see how we could make it more interesting. Belen, I mean, it literally is a photo. It literally is a photo. It literally is a painting. It's like something like a Turner painting. It's just incredible. The way you've used composition is amazing. The light is just gorgeous. The only thing that is bugging me slightly, and you probably have a few alternatives, is I feel like the runner should be a bit closer to me, and maybe you have got that and you chose that this one was kind of the strongest one. But that's the way the kind of bridge leads you, leads your eye into the distance or towards the runner. Yeah, it's just incredible. The colours are absolutely fantastic as well. So yeah, incredible, really good. I know you've been here quite a few times and you've photographed this place throughout the year. It'd be interesting to see like a full series from the year of this place. Yeah, I like really good, really good. Yes, so cool. Again, your work is definitely getting stronger. Red and green. I love seeing these colours, especially because we learned a lot about that during the red series. This definitely screams autumn to me, especially with those colours. The only thing that and this is like really small, is like you're chopping the very top of it off. So it almost looks, I just feel like if you were to actually, like, it looks like you photographed it from where you're standing. And I think just to make it a little bit more interesting, if you have just gone down on your knees and just tilted up a little bit so you could get the whole tree in. I mean, I'm talking about small, minute details here, but again, just trying to push yourself and look through the lens at different angles just makes it a bit more interesting for the viewer. But incredible colours and great composition, really good composition. Creeper, the Queen of Black and White. I love it. I love the sun on the child's face. And what's really interesting is having like the lightness of the child's jumper and face really stands out in comparison to the darkness of the background. So especially when you're working in black and white, you're only working in kind of tones of light and dark and variations of the colour grey. So this works really well because the child stands out. The only thing is I totally didn't get that is a pumpkin. Like, obviously I looked at the picture a bit longer and I realised what it was. I feel like for the story to come across, i.e., Autumn pushing a pumpkin in a wheelbarrow, which is a great story, I feel like this shot doesn't work. I feel like it needs to be wider, or perhaps if you were to stand on the right and kind of get a wider shot of the story. Also, sorry, Creep, I feel like I'm being harsh on you this month. I also feel like the background is very messy. Like messy background is fine, but because you've got bright whites in the background, it's like getting in the way of kind of the picture. So I would have either moved completely. I mean, I know in hindsight what it must have been like with a small child. Moved angle completely, gone entirely up and looked down, or used a lower depth of field to make the background super blurry. Again, we're talking about making decisions in split seconds, and I do understand the difficulty of shooting small children and stuff. But yeah, I don't feel like this works, I'll be honest, because you're too tight in the story. I'm not getting enough of the story. Tanya, really, like, your photography is really coming along. And I know I keep saying this every week, but I do think since you did the composition workshop, every time you submit your composition, you are nailing, which makes me so proud, like a proud mum. I actually thought this one was Lou's photograph because Lou has got a very strong kind of editorial style, and I very much feel like this is going in that direction. Your colours are very soft. You've got the story there. Again, I would just maybe go a little bit wider, like you're cropping her head and her hand off. You're probably on your 50mm, which I think maybe it's time for Christmas to get a 35mm, Tanya. Like, I really think you deserve a 35mm now. You're definitely at that stage now. Do you know what I mean? Your compositions, your colours, like everything's like working really well. And I just think a 35mm might really improve your compositions, because I know that you're physically too tight. Really good, really like it. Lucy got married. So Lucy got married a couple of weeks ago. I'm actually editing your picture today. So yes. Oh, look at the monkeys. I love it. So composition, you're nailing it, Lucy. Really good. Love your leading lines. The only thing I'd say, and you probably will agree with me on this, is if it was like a leading line to one child or one figure, or even if the three of them were posing next to each other, just because they're overlapping each other, it feels messy, which is a shame because the composition is super strong. And again, there's moving children, do you know what I mean, and busy mum and all the rest of it. I totally get it. And I can totally see what you were going for, but unfortunately it's not quite worked, purely because they're all overlapping each other. And so yeah, because of that, it looks messy. Husband looks fantastic. Like, if you got the kids out, husband stood there with his grey jumper, like, and again, I don't know if you have one where the kids have run towards you and you just took one. But again, composition, like the dark green background means that your husband stands out. So yeah, it's really interesting the way that all these kind of elements work together, but really good. Well done, Lucy. Oh, Elisa, I'm really liking this. Again, very similar to Idles. Great kind of composition, lovely colours. Lovely colours, it's like orange and blue, like, looking on the colour wheel. These colours are like complementary colours, so it works really well. Also, Elisa, I just want to say that image that you posted on Instagram with the bird, which I know has nothing to do with this month, but it's just incredible. Again, your photography just keeps getting stronger, so it's lovely. It's lovely to see all the submissions and, to follow you on Instagram and just things that you've been up to. Again, just nailing composition and colours. I continue working on those things because that just keeps getting better and better. Louise, beautiful, beautiful. Again, editorial queen. Should definitely go into editorial photography. I love your compositions, your soft tones. This is something out of a, go and pick your own mushrooms and, put them in your like food lovely menu or something. It just comes from, looks so nourishing, and the colours, the kind of brown tones, I really like. Within kind of editorial, like you have to be super, super like detailed. And so in my opinion, this kind of mushroom here it spoils it because it's got dead center, and it's, like coming under these. If that mushroom was there, it wouldn't bother me. So if this happened on the day, I would literally just pluck it out, or I would move slightly to the left or the right just so this mushroom wouldn't be in the way. I mean, I hope you are very aware that I'm talking about minute details here. Again, another tiny way to improve it is you could have got a lot lower. So so the mushrooms become higher and you're a little bit lower on the ground. But again, these are just small tips, take them or leave them kind of thing. It's still an incredibly impressive photograph. And again, a good close-up. I'd like to know what lens you've been using as well. Tracy, I'm loving this. I'm loving the kind of, again, greens, orange, blues, these colours keep coming up, which completely says autumn, which I love. I like the way that you're shooting kind of through something, and the only bit that hasn't got something there is where your children are, so that's really nice. Again, I am going to say the same as Lucy, because your children are overlapping, it's quite messy. If one child was there, it might be different. If they were both facing us, it might be different. So it's not the fact that it is two children, it's just because they're overlapping. I've got the backs of them. So in terms of story, I can't see what's going on there. So it's either like, I'd either like just one child, which makes it a cleaner picture, or if they were facing me or something like that. But I really like the composition. I like the fact that you've put them to one side and you've got this here. So composition-wise is really good, and colour-wise really, really nice as well. So well done, Tracy. Sophie, it's really sweet. It's definitely reminds me of kind of morning walks, the cold air, like wrapping up. It's definitely more of a feeling photograph, which is definitely something I'm interested in. Sophie said something really nice. She came to one of my openings and thanked me and Emily for kind of continuing with these monthly challenges, and also said, quite often she doesn't fancy taking her camera out, or isn't motivated, or feels like she's done a shit shot or whatever like that, but actually just going out and making the photograph and having a deadline has been a really positive experience for her this year especially. So thank you for sharing that, Sophie. That's, we really appreciate that comment. And I guess this photograph is what you meant. And to be honest, for me, this is more of a feeling photograph. I want to know what's going on with you behind this. I definitely feel like you've been going for a walk. There's things going on in your mind, and it's something like that, rather than you telling me a story or anything. So obviously I had that context behind this picture, but thank you for sharing. Trudy, I'm a big fan of this picture. It's really not, it's like quite a surprising photograph. Obviously fireworks, you normally see the fireworks or sparklers or whatever. And as a wedding photographer, I'm a big fan of photographing like what others kind of how others see. Like, so I very much do this at weddings. And I really like the explosion on the left of fireworks, even though it's all blurry. So it's this explosion of light dots and colour. Then you've got what actually is going on the screen, and then you've got the over the shoulder, so it's all in context of it's your little girl's kind of point of view. I really like it. I don't think it's an easy photograph, but you've pulled it off really well. I think the story's there. I really like the composition. I mean, if anything, I'd like to see just a little bit more of the phone. So if you were to kind of literally lean slightly on your left, but I don't think that. I think it's such a strong picture, and quite refreshingly new. You know, I haven't seen something like this in the Motherhood. So yeah, well done, truly. Lucy, really nice colours, like really nice. Kind of like overexposed yet muted, and kind of remind me of kind of really early morning and misty kind of mornings. It's really interesting that you've hidden both of your boys' faces but shown us the face of the kind of the evil trick-or-treat pumpkin sweet collecting bucket. I can't get my words out. Again, colour, you know, the orange colour of pop. Oh, sorry, my husband's making noise. I really like that, and it's in such contrast. Sorry, my husband's just walked in. It's in such contrast with the rest of the picture, which is quite dreamy and painterly. So it definitely kind of throws you and draws your attention to that face. So it's quite a clever shot, Lucy. I'm not sure if it was intended or not, but I assume you're getting quite good at reading photos, so I assume you totally read that after you saw it, and perhaps that's why you submitted it. But it definitely made me chuckle. Emily, this is definitely a boom boom bam shot. I love it. This is definitely my style of photography. Kind of the pools of light coming through, the way you've created the composition, that you've used dark tone. It's very simple, it's very clean. It's definitely one that should be printed and put on your wall. The only criticism is it autumn? Not that it is or isn't. I'm not kind of questioning you. It's more, it would be nice to have some autumn story in there. That would be my only thing. But apart from that, I think it's incredible, and it should definitely be printed quite big, I'd say, and put on kind of the living room wall. I think it's incredible. Well done, Katie. Beautiful sky. Composition again. I'm really liking the fact that you've really gone up a level with your composition, and that's really exciting to see. Perhaps, like, I love the leading lines of this. Perhaps try lower. Maybe you did try different angles on this, but I think you could almost try getting a little lower. I think you might have shot it at your, like, just standing looking through the lens, but I feel like looking lower would just show us a new angle. But the fact that you've got the leading lines through here and the pink sky is just lovely. The fact that we've got more sky, you've got your kind of rule of thirds there, which is really nice. You could have also, I think, brought the exposure down in post-production. You could have just made that tree quite silhouette-y, so focused almost on the on the kind of colours of the sky, and just made the rest a bit dark kind of thing. But I'm really liking where you're going with this, and I'm really enjoying kind of seeing your journey in photography, especially since you returned and came back on the refresher course kind of thing. So yeah, like, honestly, keep up the good work. It's really, really good stuff. Zoe, I think I saw you on your bike actually the other day. I think it was Monday. I was in a restaurant and you were biking somewhere in Oxford. Yeah, I love the contrast between kind of the muted background tones, the kind of yellows and oranges, and then you've got this kind of bluey grey t-shirt, and then this super, like, ridiculously like summer fun loving crazy lollipop that he got in his mouth. It's definitely contrasting. the background feels like cozy, like soup and warm, and even the light leaking at the kind of top right hand side. You almost want scarves, and then you've got him in the foreground, and it's like summer's here. So for me, it's like a real. It made me chuckle because of the kind of juxtaposition between the background and the foreground, and the fact that he's licking it and just looking straight at you. It's almost like he's like, yeah, I don't care, it's summer in my world. Don't know about you guys, but my children literally are still going to school. It's freezing cold, but in t-shirts and shorts because they don't feel the cold. And this is what this kind of reminds me of. Oh, Katie, I love the composition. Yeah, you're nailing this as well, like straight lines, which is obviously a big fan of mine. Just the way that this has been, whether she was there before and you just saw it and grabbed it, or whether you kind of encouraged it, I have no idea, but you know, you've definitely nailed it. It's really cute. Again, just a little bit like Emily, like I'm not sure if I'm getting the theme autumn in this photograph. But it's a damn good photograph, and definitely, again, one should be printed. Do you know what I mean? I just think it's so strong. What a difference great composition makes, you know. So yeah, really, really well done. Heather, you're back. I feel like I've missed you. Welcome back, Heather. Lovely to see you. Your boy has grown up so much. Yeah, as always, Heather, you know, you're nailing composition. It's really nice to see all the beautiful colours. You've got the browns, you know, and the yellows from the conkers. It's, you know, it's all matching. The sun is slightly overexposed on his kind of right side, but I really like that. It just gives it a bit of depth. You know, the fact like, you know, his right trouser leg is up, and I don't know, like I just really like it. I feel like I could be there, kind of digging in those leaves and collecting conkers with him. So yeah, like really lovely, really lovely shot. And I really like the kind of, again, the dark kind of background. I can imagine this being a bit of a tricky one to photograph as well, just because of the light. You've got light and dark, and you've got sun, you know, so, you know, not the easiest, easiest of lighting conditions, Heather, and I think you've done really well. Right, well done, everyone. Oh, it's so lovely to see everyone's work. So I have chosen a winner. And as always, it's horrible because they're all winning shots. But the winner is, where is she? Trudy. I really like it. I really like it. I just think it was really refreshing to see. And I think it's quite unusual. And yeah, I think you've bloody nailed it, girl. If I was to choose a second, it would be Emily, purely because I fucking love it. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. And if I was to just choose a third, well, there's two thirds. There's Louise, although let's get rid of that there. And it is Belen. But obviously I'd like to choose them all if I could. Right, let's leave the winning image up here while I say goodbye. I'm really sorry I'm frozen, so you just got a smiley face. But well done, Trudy. Really good work. Well done, everyone, actually. It is such a joy. And honestly, like, to watch your photography journey grow this year has been like a real honour. From January doing self-portraits where everyone was like, fuck, to now. And I know we're ending. No, we're not. We're not ending with it. November is a portrait of your family. Yeah, I'm really excited to see this month's. I'd love to hear how you've all been getting on with that. I popped in the group and I know there's been a lot of like, so yeah, hopefully it's a fun one. The real big point is just get involved. It doesn't really matter what you end up with. But as Sophie said, just by getting involved has really kind of helped her to grow as a photographer, and also, you know, just confidence and to get involved. You know, it's all good stuff. Right, anyway, I'll stop talking with that big grin on my face now. Love you lots and speak to you soon. Bye.